Does God allow divorce? The answer is no. God did not have that in mind when creating marriage. As it was said in Genesis, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. There was no room for any kind of separation. Think of it like a strawberry and banana smoothie. Strawberry is separate, and banana is separate before you make the smoothie, but once you create this beverage, you can't get the strawberry and banana back. They are now in one inseparable whole. However, this smoothie would eventually break with Deuteronomy chapter 24 verses 1 to 4, when Moses said that people could divorce. And this was fine for the Israelites. But then Jesus said, no, this wasn't righteous. Moses just did this because of the pressure he was going through. This happened in Matthew chapter 19 verses 3 to 9, which reads, oh boy. "The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh? Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder." They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement, and to put her away? He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, Whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. This is a pretty good sign that divorce is bad, right? Plus, this shouldn't even matter if we use the Bible to run our marriages. When we marry according to the Bible, then our marriages will last long and we'll all be happy. For details on what a good marriage should look like, we can look at Ephesians chapter 5 verses 22 to 30, Colossians chapter 3 verses 18 to 24, 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3, and 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 1 to 7. Think about what happened with Jesus and his disciples. The relationship they had is what we should strive for. They didn't get into disagreements. The disciples trusted in Jesus, and Jesus led them like a shepherd. That relationship was built on the submission of the disciples, according to the will of God. As it was said in John, Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. John chapter 15, verse 14. We can look at John chapter 14, verse 15, John chapter 15, verse 20, and Matthew chapter 10, verse 25. If the disciples tried to push forward, trying to lift themselves up, then there would have been conflict. Does this mean that the disciples were slaves to Jesus? Does this mean that Jesus micromanaged every aspect of the disciples' lives and he was tyrannical? No. It's just that the disciples used their meekness to take on supporting roles, while Jesus used his spiritual knowledge to make decisions. It isn't forced submission, it is natural. We will naturally find that we can take on the roles God gave to us, because God wouldn't do something that we can't accomplish. When we marry according to the Bible, we can use our own gifts to help keep the marriage going. And with all that, what reason would anyone have for divorcing? Divorcing just shows God, you know what, I don't need your plan. I have a plan and I think it's better. So I advise you, don't focus on getting the best divorce lawyer or working out how to get the most money out of this sinking ship. No, learn to patch this ship, because I can tell you, you are going to be much happier in the end. And that is where I think I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Does God allow divorce? No. In fact, with God's plan, we will never even need to think about that word. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.